Sherlock Holmes and the Duke's Son. Chapter 3. Holmes and Watson Go North. It was dark when we arrived at Dr. Huxtable's famous school in the northern hills. We went quickly into the building out of the cold, and at once someone ran up with news for Dr. Huxtable. He looked very surprised. "The Duke is here," he told us. "The Duke and Mr. Wyler, his secretary, are in my office. Come and meet them." The government minister was a tall man with a long, thin face. He had red hair and a great red beard. He looked at us and did not smile. Next to him stood Mr. Wyler, a very young man. He was small, with blue eyes and a watchful face. He spoke first. "The Duke is surprised, Dr. Huxtable, to see Mr. Sherlock Holmes here. He doesn't want people to know about this. You know that, so why didn't you speak to the Duke before you went to London?" "But we need help," said Dr. Huxtable, "and Well," said the Duke, "Mr. Holmes is here now, and perhaps he can help us." He looked at Holmes. "I'd like to come and stay at Holderness Hall, Mr. Holmes." "Thank you, sir," said Holmes, "but I would like to stay near to the mystery, here at the school. Can I ask you one or two questions, perhaps?" "Of course," said the Duke. "My questions are about the Duchess, and about money," said Holmes. "The Duchess knows nothing about this," said the Duke, "and nobody is asking me for money." "I see," said Holmes. "You wrote a letter to your son before he disappeared. When did you post it?" "Post it?" said Mr. Wyler angrily. "The Duke does not post letters. I put the letter into the post bag with all the other letters that day." A minute or two later, the Duke and Mr. Wyler left. Holmes then began at once to work on the case. We looked carefully all through the boys' bedroom and the German teacher's room. We looked at the ivy on the wall, and we saw the footprints under the German teacher's window. But we learned nothing new. Holmes then left the house, and only came back after 11 o'clock. He had with him a large map. He brought it into my room and put it on the bed. "This case is beginning to get interesting, Watson," he said. "Look at this map. Here's the school, you see, and here's the road. So, did the boy and the teacher go along the road when they left?" "No, Watson, they did not." "How do you know that, Holmes?" I asked. "Because there was a policeman here. Look. He was there from the midnight to 6 in the morning, and he saw nobody on the road. I spoke to him this evening, and here at the other end, you see, is the White Horse Inn. A woman there was ill, and the family watched the road all night, waiting for the doctor. The doctor didn't come until the morning, and the family saw nobody on the road. So the boy and the teacher did not go by road." "But Holmes, what about the bicycle?" I asked. "Yes, Watson, we must remember the bicycle, of course. But first, let's look to the south and the north. To the south, we have a big river. No bicycles there then. And to the north, we have the trees, called Ragged Shaw, and then a great moor, the Lower Gilmore. And here is Holderness Hall, 16 kilometers from the school by road, but only 9 kilometers across the moor. No other houses until the Green Man Inn along the Chesterfield Road." "But the bicycle," I said again. Yes, Watson," said Holmes. "It is possible to ride a bicycle across the moor. Difficult, but possible." Just then, Dr. Huxtable came quickly into the room. "News, Mr. Holmes?" he said excitedly. "I bring news." In his hands was a blue school hat. Look, this is the boy's hat. One of my gardeners found it this evening. Where, man, where? Asked Holmes. Just north of Ragged Show, said Dr. Huxtable. Aha, said Holmes. What did I tell you, Watson? Tomorrow we must walk north across the moor. Duke, a nobleman of high rank, often ruling over a specific area. The Duke was known throughout England. Minister, a member of the government responsible for a specific area, such as finance or education. The Minister of Health announced new policies today. Secretary, a person who assists someone in managing their work or organization. My secretary helps me organize my meetings. Disappeared. To go missing or to no longer be visible. The cat disappeared from the garden last night. Footprints. Marks left by feet on a surface, often used to track movement. I saw footprints in the snow leading to the door. More. A moor is a large area of open land that is often wet and covered with grass and small plants. We went hiking across the moor during our trip. Excitedly, in a way that shows strong feelings of eagerness. The children jumped excitedly when they saw the presents. Map. A visual representation of an area, showing features like roads and landmarks. We use the map to find our way to the park. Who is Dr. Huxtable? Dr. Huxtable is a headmaster of the famous school in the Northern Hills. Why did Dr. Huxtable call Sherlock Holmes? Dr. Huxtable called Sherlock Holmes because he needed help with a mystery involving a boy who disappeared. What did the Duke look like? The Duke was a tall man with a long, thin face and red hair. Who is Mr. Weiler? Mr. Weiler is the Duke's young secretary. What did Holmes want to do instead of going to Holderness Hall? Holmes wanted to stay at the school to investigate the mystery. What did Holmes find out about the road? Holmes learned that nobody saw the boy or the teacher on the road during the night. What did Dr. Huxtable bring to Holmes as news? Dr. Huxtable brought a blue school hat that belonged to the missing boy. Where was the boy's hat found? The boy's hat was found just north of Ragged Shaw. What did Holmes plan to do after finding the hat? Holmes planned to walk north across the moor to continue his investigation. How did Holmes feel about the case? Holmes felt that the case was becoming interesting as he gathered more information.